Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Matt Hatter representing for the Dangerously Active League. Want to have like an open discussion about preparation and awareness and just general dialogue with most of these raids and alerts, especially when it comes to Elite and knowing the differences of being queuing in and LFGing for the event, regular, and elite. Special shout out to Pig for this raid. It didn't work out as well, I guess, as he planned. They was asking for help, and this didn't work out a little bit too long. But this is not the raid. I'm just pretty much just showing a video as I'm having a discussion. Felt kind of bad for a certain tank for first boss for COUE. Tried his best in the first attempt, and tried his best for the second, and the group pretty much took it as a failure on his part. Which again, tanking is not easy. So shout out to any experienced tanks out there. But the conversation I want to speak to everybody, even elitists, because I come in with some questionable stuff on a main, and it just for this game to be 10 years old, as old as it is, or players that's been playing for this long, for over a year, or just running the current content, anything over 2 weeks, I personally feel like you should at least get the mechanics down just a little bit more up to par. Or even it's just not the mechanics, just step back from the beginning. What I mean by being prepared for certain content, just your gear, your CR is correct. Okay, great. And it's very easy to get your CR up. Those who don't know, it's very easy to get your CR up. Next, the proper artifacts, because DC Universe have the right artifacts for certain things, and then check the skill points. Definitely don't want to dive into a discussion that, but skill points as a big factor. It was a big factor from the beginning, and so in my opinion, it's going to always stay that way. And then here comes the general knowledge of the game. If you have a high CR, high skill points, and decent and the correct artifacts, I understand if you want to run an event just to get, everybody now consider events like the baby one, but there is feats out there for you in events versus the regular and elite, and that's great. And if you want to bump your skills up and you jump in regular like everybody else just to get it out quicker, more power to you. There's nothing wrong with that. Have fun with the game. But here comes a little pet peeve when you step into elite, and a lot of people don't understand there's a big difference with jumping to elite versus jumping to regular, or jumping into elite versus jumping to event. The health is very high, CR is higher, the bosses ads whatever hits a lot harder. Mechanic change just a slight difference. It should be changing a lot different. Because again, it's elite, so we're asking for a very bigger challenge. This is being somebody else's opinions that I actually run elite all the time, so that's what we look for, a challenge in games. But this is a challenge for most who don't know. I came across a player who never been elite, jumped in it, and his comment was, and I quote, "Oh, well, I ran elite. I was good in elite, so I thought I'll be okay from regular to elite." No, it's a big difference, a big change. And one thing that I come across a lot of people that comes in elite, they get nervous. They feel a little bit baffled to just speak up and say, "Hey, this is my first time." That's not a problem. I'm very sure, especially if you're a rare breed of what the game needs, like, a good tank, a good healer. We have too many DPS, dime a dozen. Definitely good trolls, especially our support roles. We're slowly dissolving, or it just it is what it is. And we're more than welcome to give you a fair shot or 2 or 3 and then explain to mechanics, you know, for yourself. But humbly enough, unless it's your league, if it's a full league, I'm very sure they'll sit and ride out with you for a while, longer than, you know, a couple attempts. But again, more than welcome to give you a shot a couple of times, explain the mechanics to you. You know, after that, pretty much just actually excuse yourself. Most people actually excuse themselves. I've done it before. I jumped into for the first balls from my earth. Didn't do so hot, but you know, I had that urge to do it because I seen a lot of tanks fail. That's pretty much where my heart where me being excited, because I seen tanks I felt like I can do better. And that's how it goes. You know, I had the gear, had the skill points, but it just came down to my general knowledge of just being the earth tank for the Pacific, like first balls, and you know, seeing other tanks fail, and definitely want to jump in there and try my shot. You know, I feel like I'm good as a troll. I'm good as a healer. You know, let me see what I can do as a tank. And it's not for everybody. Trust me, I've been there too many times. I don't never try to raise my bar when there's no need to and say, oh, I can do it because that guy did it. No, everybody have a certain play style. Everybody come prepared for the mechanics. Everybody know the general knowledge of both their role and the mechanics, and what to do and what not to do. And that's something we all have to very, very, very much understand. That come prepared, you know, do your homework. I had a player, I think it was a healer, gave him a suggestion, or you know, tip. Like somebody befriended me and gave me a suggestion, tip, and it wasn't even like it was out boldly in group, but it was just a private message, you know, and they just got 0 to 60 hot, you know, all types of shenanigans verbally that should even make no sense. And I don't know if they understand the situation. DC Universe is a small community. You know, we see the most active or not active players just by walking down the watchtower, just walking down Little Bohemia, or walking down, or just flying through certain parts of Metropolis and other content. So we just have to keep that in mind, guys. And definitely shout out for the players out there, the elitists that do have the 200 artifacts, full elite gear on more than multiple tunes. Actually give the other guys a try on certain things, because again, this is the community. The community is small. It's very small. I'm not gonna say it's a dying game, because I've been here from the beginning. It's just small. Everybody have their own personalities, and that's fine. You can have a bitchy attitude, you can have a cocky attitude. That's fine, that's great. But you know, when we come into, especially when it comes to elite, it's a different animal. As long as we have that game face on and know the mechanics and willing to say, hey, you know, this is what you're doing wrong. You know, let's have a little bit thicker skin on certain situations, and that's what it comes down to. All right. I don't think I have anything to share more than that. It just pretty much, it is what it is, and I keep coming across it so many times. You know, if anybody have comments, and shouts, and you know, of their experiences with who they come across of players, you know, bring it down in the comments below. You know, but definitely, I just want to encourage you, if you and elitists, just help them out, because I've been in that same boat many times. Beginning, cursed out, yelled at from the very, very beginning 10 years ago up to now, when people even now make videos just for my perspective. So all right, guys, thank you again. God bless. Have a good one. Smash that like.